yourself. Obviously, we have several folks on board here. Looks like we have 17 participants. That is so awesome. First thing in the morning on a crisp Tuesday morning. And what I'd like to do is ask, I'm just going to go through what I saw from my registration list, and hopefully that way I won't miss anyone. But I'm going to kind of just go around, and as you hear your name called, basically what I'd like you to do is just make sure you're off mute and just let us know your name, the name of your company, and if you're a current or future member of your Washington County Chamber of Commerce. Okay, so we'll go around the Zoom room right quick, and then we'll make sure that I didn't forget anyone as we still have folks that are chiming in. So right off the bat, I want to start with Miss Gina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gina Bamford with Direct Medical Billing and Consulting Service, and I'm a current chamber member. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And our esteemed colleague, Mr. Sherman Coleman, got up a little earlier visiting us from Frederick.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sherman Coleman. I'm with the Frederick County Office of Economic Development. Glad to be here.
Outstanding, thank you so much. How about Ms. Mary Ellen?
Good morning. I am a current chamber member. My business is One Step Closer Coaching, Leadership Coaching and Facilitation. And my name's Mary Ellen Waltzmeyer. Glad to be here. Thanks, Eddie.
Awesome, thank you. Ms. Leslie.
Good morning. My name is Leslie Sire, and I'm a small business and benefits specialist with Legal Shield, and I am a future member of the Washington County Chamber.
Outstanding, appreciate it. Look forward to it. How about Mr. Troy Rudy?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Troy Rudy. I'm the owner of Assisting Hands Home Care, serving Frederick, Washington, and Carroll counties. We provide one-to-one safe in-home care for adults of all ages, but mainly seniors in their homes here. Again, I will be a future chamber member.
Outstanding, and need those services now more than ever, don't we? Outstanding. Thanks so much for all you do. Hey, Miss Rudine.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I am the owner and founder of Results Notary Public in Frederick, Maryland. Is there anything I need? I'm sorry, I had zoomed out for a moment there.
That's all right. And current or future member of Washington County Chamber? I
am not a current or a future member right now. I'm just getting this business off the ground, and the business is doing pretty good. I can't complain, doing pretty good.
Outstanding. And of course, we know where you live, so we'll come back on that. Well, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Rudine. I appreciate you this morning. Mr. Lay.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Lay. I'm from Highland View Academy. I'm currently the development coordinator here, and we are a chamber member with Highland View Academy.
Awesome. Thanks so much, sir. And from going way back when it was originally One More Customer and you were there, so I so appreciate seeing you here back in the Zoom room. Thanks so much. How about Miss Lakia Johnson?
My name is Lakia Johnson. My business is The Giver's Gifts. I make custom baskets and gifts for people for any occasion, and I am a future member of the Commerce.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thank you so very, very much. Ms. Carmen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's Carmen Fox with Ameriserve Bank here in Hagerstown, Maryland. And happy to see everybody. Happy Thanksgiving next week. And we are a current chamber member. So thank you, Eddie.
Thank you. I can't believe Thanksgiving next week. I know. Wow. Just incredible. Thank you, Carmen. How about Melissa?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Melissa Wilder, and I'm with Legal Shield, and absolutely a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Outstanding. Thanks for being here. Ms. Donna Need.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Donna from Valley Credit Service, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And we are a current chamber member.
Outstanding. And I must thank you also as well for being so loyal and supportive of everything from One More Customer to your next customer and whatever else it is the next time around, Donna. Thank you so very much. How about Miss Kelsey?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Kelsey with Kite and Anchor, and a current chamber member as well as a co-chamber ambassador with Eddie and Carmen on the call this morning. So glad to be here.
Outstanding. Glad to have you here. Thanks so very much. Ms. Deanna Ball.
Good morning. I'm a current chamber member, and I've came to a few your customer meetings with Eddie, and I love them. So I'm
Thank
back.
you. Thank you.
I'm currently with Liberty Mutual. I'm a local agent for Frederick. I'm visiting family right now with the holidays coming, so it's not my
Awesome.
house. I miss my office.
That's all right. You take your office with you, right?
That's
Wherever
right.
you are, it becomes
Sure.
the office. Well, thanks so much for chiming in, especially when you have all that other going on. I'm glad you're able to visit with your family. Hope everyone stays safe and well.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You bet. Hey, Mr. Derek, there you are, sir. You have a minute to chime in with us?
Yeah, hey, good morning. Thanks, Eddie. My name is Derek Furry with Bartlett Tree Experts. I'm a current member of the Washington County Chamber, and this is my first customer experience, Your Next Customer, with Eddie Peters. So looking forward to this morning's presentation.
Hey, sir, absolutely appreciate you being in the Zoom room. You know that. Thank you. And let's see, Miss Susan Johnson.
Hello, everyone. My name's Susan Johnson, and I currently work with Kim Lundy occasionally at her firm. Thank you for having me.
Outstanding. Thank you for being here. And again, to each and every one of you, let's see, I don't think I missed anyone. If I did, please go right ahead and chime in. You know what? I do want to circle back around because I don't think that she was given the proper introduction and edification so that she can introduce herself. How about we go back around to Miss Brianna Scott, y'all, and let her introduce herself as well and all she does. So Brianna, please go right ahead.
Hi, everyone. I am the Director of Member Services at the Washington County Chamber. So if you have any questions about your membership or you want to find out a little bit more about all the great benefits, then let me know. I have my contact information in the chat. And just one more time for everyone that just joined, if you want to also put your contact information in the chat for everyone, then we can save that at the end, and that would be a great networking tool for everyone.
You bet. Thanks again so much for all you do, Brianna. It's really been a privilege to work with you. And of course, you know, she said she's Director of Member Services. So, I mean, she was talking to everybody who's a future member of the Washington County Chamber. Just letting you all know that's who she was talking to right there, right? So please make sure to get in contact with her. It's a wonderful experience, and it can't do anything but help take your business up and to the right. As we all said, we had that common word this morning, pivoting, right? And so we certainly need those resources more now than ever before. So thanks again for taking time out of your busy day. I'm going to go right ahead and get to the information because we have a very special guest that we are going to be listening to and getting some great nuggets from. And I want to just start right off with letting you know, Miss Kimberly Lundy, I had the privilege of meeting her. My goodness, is it just about a year and a half-ish, it seems like now, Kimberly, and we met at a networking event, as a matter of fact, in Frederick. And you know how when you just meet someone and you click? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It just feels like just somebody that you definitely want to know going forward. And it has grown even beyond that. I recognize that if I walk into a room, especially of professionals, if Kimberly's in that room, I'm in the right room. All right. So I just want to sum it up just that way. But let me go ahead and give you her background, because what an extensive background and bio that she has. I want to start with prior to her current businesses that she has. Prior to starting Lundy HR Consulting, Lundy's Sweet Treats, and joining the Mental Health Association of Frederick County's Board of Directors and Governance Committee, Kimberly held executive and senior management level resource roles in Waystation. Is it Keegan? BAE, Keegan, BAE Systems, Merck, and Equity One. Kimberly developed and led talent, performance, risk, and change management initiatives and programs. She is an adept strategist who designed and launched successful programs focused on employee retention, talent management, performance management, diversity and inclusion, affirmative action, and compliance. And I want to go right to also, as the CEO of Lundy HR Consulting, Kimberly leverages her 20+ years of experience in executive human resources to bring customized solutions to small and mid-sized businesses that give them a competitive advantage while providing them with the same benefits and tools that larger corporations use. Her vision is for Lundy HR Consulting to be the vehicle which equalizes the playing field for small to mid-sized companies to successfully grow and compete in the market. Lundy HR Consulting is committed to clients and is driven by the 4 R's: relationships, results-oriented, reliable, and resourceful. And you can learn more, of course, at lundyhrc.com. Now, let me just go into, because I want to make sure you know that she also is busy with Lundy Sweet Treats. And Lundy Sweet Treats offers a unique blend of Southern and traditional style desserts and quiches. Each dish is made by hand with love, using the freshest of ingredients. They pride themselves in treating each customer as a welcome guest and part of the family. Rumor has it that her sweet potato, coconut sweet potato, pumpkin, pecan, and cheesecakes are simply amazing. Family is a big part of baking for owner Kimberly Lundy, who grew up watching her grandmother, known as Mama Seal, whip up delicious Southern cooking that often drew a crowd to her Philadelphia home. Go Philadelphia, that's what I'm talking about. Go Eagles, don't get me started. Her grandfather even turned his love for baking into a career as baker for Bond Bread. Kimberly carries on those family traditions and hopes to share love and happiness through her baking. Lundy Sweet Treats also loves to give back by highlighting essential works and those giving back to others through her monthly Unsung Heroes Awards. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, come on off mute and give a big round of applause for Miss Kimberly Lundy.
Thank you.
And Kimberly, I'm going to go right ahead and get started with the information and the interview that I had the privilege of having and talking with you. So let me go ahead and get right to that, and we'll get her started. Well, good day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Your Next Customer. This is the show where we deliver the actionable intel and is focused on professionals, sales professionals that are looking for more sales, of course, tips in marketing, and of course, that good old-fashioned customer service, okay? So I just want to say thank you once again for joining us, and certainly want to give a shout out to our great friends at Washington County Chamber of Commerce for being the sponsors for this event. My name is Eddie Peters, and I'm with Legal Shield. I'm also a proud ambassador with your Washington County Chamber of Commerce and Affinity Business Partner as well. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get right to that actionable intel, to the information that we're talking about, because I have a wonderful guest here for you today, and I'm really anxious to get her introduced to you. So first and foremost, right off the bat, let me introduce you to Ms. Kimberly Lundy. She is the president and CEO of Lundy Human Resources Consulting. And Kimberly, good morning. First of all, how are you?
I'm well, Eddie. How are you? Good morning.
I am great. Thank you. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today. You know, we've got some wonderful points, and I know you've got some wonderful nuggets to drop on us also as well. But before we get started, you've got to give us a little bit of background on Ms. Kimberly Lundy. Tell us a little bit about Kimberly.
Sure. Well, as you said, I'm the owner of Lundy Human Resources Consulting. We specialize in working with small to mid-sized organizations to basically become the engine to help them succeed in business. So it's a full service HR organization.
Outstanding. And, you know, I know consulting in general today is so very, very necessary, but even more so, I'm sure, just because of all of the different needs that have come out of this these uncertain times that we're in, affecting businesses like has never been affected before. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that, because we want to go from those that are listening in today from the beginning stages, if you will, of their entrepreneurial journeys. Some of us on the line in the Zoom room today may be business owners, but some of us are just simply not the owner, but we're part of that executive sales force, if you will, one way or another. You know, you're either in sales or you're supporting sales, right? And so with that, I did want to ask you in terms of, let's start from the beginning and let's talk about that W word, right? Now, hopefully it's not worrying and wondering, but we're talking about your why. And, you know, that's so very important, because I've always been taught that that's the thing that will get you up early and keep you up late. I'm sure you agree with that as well. Talk to us from your perspective about your why and how it got you personally from where you were to where you are now and keeps you going.
Sure. So for my why is really centers around people. People are the greatest asset of any company. They are the engine, they are the doers to keep that company going. And so, working from an HR perspective with those businesses and helping them to be compliant is my passion, which is centered a lot around employment law. So that gets me up in the morning to make sure that, things are operating correctly, effectively, so that businesses can focus on their core business.
Outstanding. And you have an extensive background, speaking of that type of law also as well, right? Could you talk a little bit more about that in your background?
Sure, absolutely. So my background, I have a passion for law. Employment law comes in particular pretty easy to me. I have gone to school and have my bachelor's degree in law. I've gone for my master's as well as a year in law school as well. So those are some of the things that I bring to the table in addition to human resources.
Absolutely. And I hope you all heard that like I did, ladies and gentlemen. Employment law comes kind of easy to me. Don't you just hate that when that's just incredible. And I can see why you're so very sought after, and your services and your expertise also as well. So in determining, obviously your why is so very, very important. And you mentioned that passion also as well, because it literally is the thing that's going to keep you going right through the no's. And, I like to say, what gets you from one no or one rejection to the next one without losing momentum? It's your why, it's your passion. And after you've determined that why, after you've determined that passion, you need to know now where to take it. In other words, for your niche. So talk to us a little bit about, how do you find your niche out here? There's so many people that I believe that's really where they're missing the boat, if you will. They know they want to do something. In fact, they have a talent for doing something, but they can't quite find where to fit it in out here in the market. How did that work for you, and what advice and tips can you give us?
Sure. So key things are listening, keeping an ear out critically in terms of, what are the pain points that you're hearing? What's the need in the industry or from customers? And then how you could potentially fill that need. Secondly is research. Working with your chambers of commerce is key, because they can give you a lot of wonderful information about what's going on in business. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics is another phenomenal resource, because you can find out about, not only what is going on in the industry, what are the trends, what are the projections for the future. So as you find your niche in terms of the need, you then know exactly how it fits and where the department, where the industry is going.
Absolutely. Now I want to pause there just for a second there, because that was a mouthful, and it was so awesome, because the first thing you said though was to listen. And you'll find the pain points, find out what people are looking for, and I guess more importantly, what they're looking for but can't really find, and maybe the way that you could provide it also as well. You talked about resources, and this is something that is very important to me as well. I've always had a passion for networking and being in the right room, I guess is what I like to call it, right? And Washington County Chamber of Commerce has been a huge resource for many of us in the Zoom room today, yourself also included. You're a proud member also as well. You mentioned the Bureau of Labor and Statistics also as well for these different resources. Within the Chambers of Commerce though, Kimberly, what do you specifically look for there to be able to hone in on the niche marketing aspect, if you will?
Yeah. So in terms of talking to the chamber, the wonderful thing is that the chamber is made up of all business owners. And so they're getting the information firsthand from the business owners, what they're looking for, what their needs are. So they can be a phenomenal resource into learning, what the needs are, who's looking, being able to go through the directory and to connect with some of those other business owners, having a name, because you're both a part of the Chambers of Commerce, for example, being able to reach out to them directly makes it a lot easier for you. So the chamber is just great. And, they also partner a lot with small business, organizations like FITSE and SCORE. And so these are other extensions even outside of the Chamber of Commerce, but work collectively with them to give you a lot of additional resources. I would also say that industry publications are key, so that again, you can see where's this industry going? What are the challenges? So the information is out there. We just have to research it and get the information.
You bet. And when it comes to our chambers of commerce, the one thing, not only are they made up of business owners, kind of been there, done that, doing that still, that means it's also made up of mentors. Would you agree that, and I've been so amazed in any and all chambers of commerce that I've had the privilege of being a part of, along with my best friend and business partner and my wife, Melissa, all of the mentors that are so willing to bend over backwards to help you. But the one thing you have to do is you've got to ask. Right? Mentors do not go around knocking on doors and saying, hey, do you happen to have any questions? Right? Talk to that a little bit in terms of being able to reach out to individuals and be able to that way plug into the information that we need.
Sure. You kind of said it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask for that mentor. Many of these people are business owners themselves, so they're busy, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to take the time to reach back to help you. And so it's just asking for that resource, talking to the chamber, seeing who you might be able to connect with. They're really great connectors, in terms of assigning buddies, for example, to help you not only learn more and take advantage of your membership, but also to leverage the resources that are available to you in those other businesses. SCORE is also a great opportunity for you because they assign free mentors. You only have to ask. And they also will connect you with other like businesses so that you can learn on the shoulders of someone who's been there and done that, so you can avoid the pitfalls that they have gone through. And it can help you at any stage in your business. So I will say that from a mentor perspective, everyone needs a mentor. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out. It's not limited to new professionals. It's also there for the people who've been in business as well, because there's always someone who's been there longer than you, or someone else who has experienced something that you haven't gotten to yet. So being able to leverage that is important. But conversely, it's also important to give back, because as you are learning and you're getting resources, there's someone else who's coming behind you who needs to learn those same resources. So we need to, facilitate that process, share what you know, and also learn from them as well.
You bet. And that's a wonderful segue. I want to make sure I hit on the point. So we talked about listening for the pain points, the resources that are available, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. You mentioned SCORE also as well. Of course, we've talked extensively about our own chambers of commerce, industry publications. But what, the one thing I love, I have to go back again. Can you tell I'm passionate about our chamber? You get to build relationships with that. You can't build a relationship with a publication. You can't build a relationship with statistics. All of these things are very helpful, and they're all inclusive. You really need them all together. But you build relationships with people. And the one thing that is so important, especially about asking, and I want to ask everyone here to jot this down, a closed mouth never gets fed. So when you're talking about reaching out and asking, I remembered hearing a pastor a long time ago, he said ASK is actually an acronym, Kimberly. He said it stands for ask, seek, and knock. Okay, so basically that's something that we have to do. We've got work to do also as well. And it's not a matter of, well, this didn't work for me. Did you work for it? And that's part of the work 101, if you will, that we have to do and put in. But not, as you said, just as you're brand new, but it's extensively, is it not, all the way through your career, right? Because we're never too knowledgeable, and we've never just made it and can't learn anything else. What would you say to that?
That's absolutely true. So, we have to be humble enough to understand and say when we need help, because sometimes we can get overly confident that, I have a business, I'm doing everything, I know everything, but we don't. And so there's other resources out there, and to be able to ask, I think, is really key. The chamber is phenomenal. I mean, they are so willing to help you. I have not met a better group of people who are willing to just lend a hand, whether it's connect, listen to you, point you in the right direction. So again, just being humble enough to say, I have a need, or I'm experiencing this, and then get the help that you need.
You bet. And that segue that I was talking about as well, I want to go ahead and get right to that, because we talked about your why. We've talked about finding your niche also as well. And then as you're gaining knowledge, both for yourself, but you're also gaining members for fellow business owners along the way to be able to give back. I've always believed that, we're only as strong as all of us collectively together, especially from a small business perspective. And so if you have someone next door to you who's also growing and busy, you're probably going to be growing and busy also as well. Would you agree? And talk to us a little bit about the strength of a small business community overall, because of the knowledge that is spread across the board for all of us to be able to rise when the tide comes in.
Absolutely. So again, it goes back to relationships, relationships with other businesses and owners. Taking the time to also, not just sell your business, your industry and niche, but learn what theirs is as well, because then that puts you in a position to be able to network for each other. So I'm sure people have probably heard about the thing of, everyone is connected by 6 degrees of separation. Well, the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of truth in that. So you have a sphere of influence there that may be in the first degree different from their sphere, but if you combine them together, now you have grown that as well.
Absolutely.
And so, I can tell you from working with the Chambers of Commerce and other groups that there's a group that, they know what I do and I know what they do, and we refer business to each other. And so that's another way of reaching back, helping mentor some other person, because there's enough work out here for everyone. And it shouldn't be a competition, really. It should be about how we can be authentically helping and networking each other. And by that, we all grow.
Absolutely. And, when you talk about networking itself, and I want to ask everyone, please jot this down also as well, because I tell you what, as I mentioned, Kimberly is dropping some gold. She's dropping gold nuggets. When we're talking about networking is actively seeking to help someone else's phone ring. I want you to think about that from that perspective. Networking is actively seeking to help someone else's phone ring. Because when you're doing that, if everyone in the room, for example, was actively seeking in any given one room of business professionals, was actively seeking and actively listening, as you started off with the points that you gave us, listening to find out what someone else's needs are, wouldn't everyone's phone ring a little bit more, Kimberly?
Absolutely. And, something that also came to mind when you were talking, we talked before about our niches. So when you're working with your own personal clients, on your particular niche or your specialty, if you will, if we're listening critically, you're not learning just information for your business.
That's
you're
right.
learning what their other pain points are that you can then refer someone else who has a specialty in that area. It's okay for us to say that, yes, I'm here for you. I do this area well, but this is not my specialty, but I know someone who it is. People appreciate that. They appreciate
Absolutely.
authenticity and being very transparent. So you're not going to lose business. And in fact, you generally will raise your count with that client because you were being very truthful to them and you put them in the hands of someone who could professionally handle their need.
Absolutely. And I would dare say that they remember you even more because they now remember you in more than one way. In other words, they remember you as a provider of services, but they also remember you as a connector to providers of services, and very sincerely at that. So I think that's the only thing better than you being able to provide a service for your client. The only thing that can be better than that is pointing them to someone else who can when you can't.
Absolutely.
You bet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that. And I hope you got some great notes from Kimberly Lundy, and her information is going to be available also as well. Kimberly, as a matter of fact, would you please give us your website and a contact number so that everyone can get in touch with you that would like to speak with you some more?
Absolutely. So my website is lundyhrc.com, and my telephone number is 240-257-5014. So be happy to be of assistance. My email address is kimberly@lundyhrc.com. Here to serve you.
Outstanding, you bet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. That's been another awesome session of Your Next Customer. Remember, small business is big business, and we're going to be bringing these events to you on a monthly basis. It's courtesy of the sponsorship from our wonderful Washington County Chamber of Commerce. So thank you all so very, very much for all you do in our community. Stay safe, stay busy, stay prosperous, and let's keep praying for our troops. God bless you, and we'll see you next time around.
Thank you.
Can't hear you, Eddie.
Can't hear
We
you.
can't hear you, Eddie.
Still on mute.
How about now? Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm here. Yes. All right. Melissa just ran down to me and said, "Go up to my office. We'll we'll make it happen. Whatever has to happen." All right. We're good to go. So what I was saying, ironically, was I'm Mr. Not Technology while you could not hear me talk. Okay. So you see how that works, right? Was that awesome? Was that good stuff?
Good stuff.
Better believe
Very
it. Listen, I want to get right to Ms. Lundy because we want to take advantage of the time that we have. And Kimberly, you know, first of all, just great information and thank you for that. But I have to ask you a question though, because we started this off and you were talking about your why, right? And how that is that engine, if you will, right? That kind of gets you up early, keeps you up late. But I must ask you, how has your why for you personally been able to keep you going and be able to get you through any challenges that you have had to overcome in your journey and your business thus far?
Sure. So my why keeps me going. I mentioned earlier that my why is people. So just a little personal experience. So back in 2018, I actually was laid off of my job, and I also lost my husband at the same time. And so that why is literally what kept me going. And so my why is people, and most specifically, it's my children. And so, you know, we all hear the negative voices, the, I don't know, excuses or things that we can point to say why we can't do something. You know, for some, it's I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have the education, I don't have the resources. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But for me to say my children and people, that gives you the reason to say, you know what, I don't care what the reason is. I'm going to push through that. I'm going to make it happen. And so literally that's what I had to do. And so when those times kind of hit and I could feel justified in saying, you know, I can't do this, I'm going to give up. My wife said, no, you're not. You know, you're going to push through any challenges, you know, and you're going to find the answer. And really, when I look back at it, no matter what the challenges is, you can find a way around it. You know, the key is you don't accept complacency, don't accept getting stuck. You know, do what you know to do when you don't even know, you know, so you don't know the whole lake, if you will, or the whole picture for how you're going to get from beginning to end, but you do know the first step many times. And even if that first step is, you know, I see Mr. Coleman is on the line. One of my first steps was talking to Mr. Coleman. And so he sat down with me and poured into me and gave me so many resources that it helped me to begin to see, okay, where my next step is. So my key is hold on to that why and allow it to propel you through whatever challenges are out there.
Outstanding. Thanks so very, very much for sharing that, because it's obviously, it's very personal. It's right from your heart. And I think it really allows everyone in the Zoom room today to kind of relate to that, because there are times where you just want to throw your hands up. You just, you know, you say, just, you know, God, really? I mean, you know, it gets that way. And so I so appreciate that. And that, what a great way to segue into the Q&A portion here, because I know a lot of you all were taking notes, and this is the opportunity, because we not only were able to have that wonderful interview with Kimberly, but she's also here live now to be able to field any and all questions and thoughts that you have also as well. So I want to open it up. Feel free, if you don't have any background noise going on, if it's nice and serene and so forth in your background, to go ahead and open up your mic and let's chime in and let's talk to Kimberly and let us know and let her know your thoughts and some of the things that really impacted you this morning.
Eddie, if I could start off.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
First of all, this is a personal and a great day for me personally because of my relationship with Kim. I've been knowing her for a while. She also is a graduate of the Frederick County Future Minority Business Leaders Program. She echoed some kind words earlier, and I appreciate that. But all I did was open the door. She had to go through it. And she took that chance. And she was with me during that time in the class when she lost her husband. But the thing about it, what I would like to say to everybody here, no one knows themselves better than you. You know what you're capable of, you know what you need to improve in, and the best investment you ever can invest in is yourself. You cannot doubt yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself when no one else does. And Kimberly is an example of just not giving up. When we first met, we had no idea we'd be in a Zoom room 2 years down the road and she'd be successful as she is. But what she's also doing, she's also instilling hope in other people on this call. Seeing is believing. She's telling you, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And that should just lead to the point where you can say, well, I can do it. If you had any doubts before today, 8 o'clock, they should be somewhat alleviated now because you're seeing the cart in motion. And I guess we'll see how proud I am of her. And she's only just beginning. This is only a start. She's got great things ahead because that's what she wants for herself and that's what she wants for her children.
Outstanding.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome. That's absolutely outstanding. I know there's somebody that's being touched by this on the line today, and we can also pass it on accordingly. Who else would like to chime in? I want to take full advantage of the time that we have remaining for you all's comments and inclusive remarks.
So Eddie, I'm curious, and Kimberly, thank you for your time this morning. I'm wondering what advice you might give entrepreneurs as they're getting started in business when they're having all that self-doubt perhaps, and wondering if they really can make it and that kind of thing. What are some, you've shared some great words of wisdom, so thank you. Anything additional? What kind of advice would you give?
Or believe in yourself. You can control you. You can't control all the other external voices, challenges, but you can control what you do. And, a lot of times when you're starting into a new business, you have a vision, you have an idea, and fear can hold you back, sometimes fear of failure, but just understand that the road to success is not always a straight line. It's often filled with zigzags. And you learn something every step of the way. So even if something doesn't go exactly the way that you plan, you learn, you build from it. And so the other thing is that if you're around people who don't see your vision, because that happens to all of us sometimes too, where you have the naysayers of saying you can't do this or you shouldn't do this. Remember, your vision is just that. It's your vision. It wasn't given to them. So not everyone's going to see your vision, and it doesn't make your vision wrong. It just means you have to hold on to what you believe in and plow through it.
That's huge because when not everyone else sees your vision, that's huge. That's enough to knock people right on out of the game oftentimes. And it seems to be especially when it's those that are closest to them that don't necessarily agree or, quite frankly, just say you're crazy. Why would you try to start a business during this economy with all this going on, so forth and what have you? And that is, oftentimes, if you look back in the history of those who have started businesses that are now household names, if you will, They have all of that in common, whether it was out of their garage or out of their basement or what have you. They all have in common. Someone told them couldn't do it. You're crazy. And they had to hold on to their own why and their own vision. What if they had listened to others as opposed to just persevering and trying and just getting right through? We wouldn't have some of those names that we know of now, and maybe some of the gadgets that we take so for granted on a regular basis. Does that make sense? Outstanding. Troy, I can tell you're chomping at the bit, sir. I know you've got something to share. I can just tell.
You know, Eddie, you're such a smooth talker. I think you should be the next host of Jeopardy coming up here. I think we need to put your vote in there. It would go so smooth here. No, but in terms of HR, I mean, being a small business owner for 2 years into it, coming from the corporate world, being an executive itself, you become the Swiss Army knife of just about everything you do, from legal to HR. So there's a lot to learn. So having services like this for small to medium-sized business is very, very crucial. And I should have taken something like this up in the earlier, and I may do something like that in the future here as we keep growing.
Outstanding. Good stuff. Good stuff. And, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't go to my friend Kelsey, because I know she's got some wonderful words for us. So let me just go ahead and hear those right now.
You're putting me on the spot, Eddie. You can
No
tell
way.
you can tell I'm multitasking here. Well, first I want to say to Kimberly, thank you. We've met a couple of times, and she does the side of HR that I typically do not find as my passion. So I hope to send her quite a few people in the future. I think just the people aspect, I think, especially with the world we're living in today, what happens more often than not is HR is just checking boxes because they have things to get accomplished, you know, training and hiring and recruiting and retention and firing and layoffs and all the things that make HR the bad people. But I think putting that human aspect and the people back at HR is something I definitely share as far as an idea. And if we can get that thought process out to local businesses, starting with the chamber, I think we're in a much better place in the future than what we've been in the past. So I'm excited about that. And I share that passion for sure. Kimberly, thanks for your time today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And, you know, you said it so well. I mean, people, you have to keep people in it. You know, sometimes we can get so focused on the bottom line, you know, and trying to get there. And that's important, but you have to remember the people.
Did Kimberly freeze?
Yeah, she freeze.
I think she did.
She froze. I'm sure she'll end up coming right back on. You know, I was just listening to what she was saying and also listening to Troy. What a great analogy when he said you become the Swiss Army knife. Right? We can all relate to that. And sometimes we just fail to ask for help. I don't know what exactly that is. I know I've had that issue. You know, you just feel like you just don't want to bother anyone to a degree. So you tend to feel like you're just going to push through, but you're doing it by yourself. I mean, just look around this Zoom room itself. Everyone that has introduced themselves, look at the wealth of knowledge collectively that's just in this small room, right? Can you imagine when you plug in and you just reach out and you just ask for help? One of the things that Kelsey said is, and of course, Kimberly talked to this, she said, you know, you don't necessarily, you're not necessarily able to provide a particular service, but you can certainly show direct to who can. And so Kelsey said, yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to direct her to folks. There you are, Kimberly. Yeah, you had frozen there for a second now. Go ahead, please, with your point.
Okay. Is everyone hearing me now? Because
we can now. Yes.
Okay, thank you. No, the only point I was trying to say is that was really my reason for starting Lundy HR, because I saw that so many people were trying to balance so many things. And quite honestly, you started your business because you have a core niche, if you will, or specialty in a particular area. And HR, or those people aspects that come underneath them, may not even be a part of that, yet they're a necessary thing that comes with the business. And so I really wanted Lundy HRC to help you to be your engine so you can focus on your core business, but know you're staying compliant, know you're doing everything right so you can sleep at night and just grow your business. And so that's really our mission, is to make sure that we are the engine giving you the tools you need for success.
Absolutely. As I look around the room also as well, I know that there are several of us here today that are starting their business relatively new. And in other words, about 2 years or less, doing what it is that you're doing. And I'd really, really like to hear from you all. I know Kimberly would as well, in terms of what are your challenges out there? Are you struggling with your why? Are you struggling with pivoting, finding your niche? If you just started a business, you've determined your niche. You've hopefully done all of that research. You've done some of the things that Kimberly has talked about. Those of you that are 2 years or less in business, feel free to chime in, because I know and hopefully that you're taking some great notes, but I know Kimberly would love to hear from you, not only within this session, but also maybe offline as well, to be able to talk. You all go right ahead and chime in, not all at one time now. Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to, I was listening to what Kimberly was saying, and I took note of listening, research, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, I just started my new business. I became a commissioned notary public this past August. And for a month, I didn't sit on the business, but I was learning a lot of things. What made me become a notary public was because I was listening to the news media, unfortunately, about the people are dying. I know that people need power of attorney, last will and testament. I did know a little bit about notary public, that, a person, they notarize a document. And I said, you know what, this is a business that I believe that I can do, that is fairly easy. And I would be the one who's operating this business, because there's a definite need. Also, I felt as though I am serving the community, and I want to give back in helping people. So I did a lot of, research on the internet. Like I said, I listened to the news programs, read different articles, and I said, well, okay, everything comes together. This makes sense. This will work, because notary publics are always needed. I also looked at Frederick County to see how many notaries there are. And it's only a very few, it's under 20. But I said, I have to do something that's really unique. I have to get myself out there, because you don't hear them advertising. So I decided, I said, well, let me just jump in there, get this business off the ground. I came up with the name Results, R-E capital Z, U-L-T-S. R stands for, of course, my name, Rudine. And the T, I kind of like put it all together, try to capture some of, my letters. And that worked out pretty good. And then also it's different, I am LLC, so nobody else can take this name from me. Mm-hmm. Now, my next issue is the Chamber of Commerce. I have not joined the Chamber of Commerce because I'm a new business. I'm kind of working on like a little bit of shoestring budget, some monies I put in, but I have made money and I'm really pleased with that. I'm very happy with that. And this business, I just wanted to know, in the Chamber of Commerce, how would they even promote my business? We're in COVID-19. Is the Chamber of Commerce, are they hosting meetings through Zoom or some kind of online platform? And if so, do I have to be a member in order to promote my business through the Chamber of Commerce? I came today, to seek information. And that's why I'm on this Zoom event. And also is to put out there my business, to reach out to Kimberly and to you, Eddie, because I did talk to you about, I think, a month ago. Mm-hmm. And I am looking for, more people that would have a need for my services, because, unfortunately with this COVID-19, a lot of people are, getting this virus. So, and I'm just looking for more opportunities.
You bet. Those are great questions. And Brianna, by all means, go right ahead and jump in.
Yeah, so in joining the chamber, there are a ton of ways that you can get the word out about your business. We have a newsletter that you can always promote your business in for free. Also, our social media is free. And then we also have sponsorship levels and Paul would be the person to talk to you a little bit more about that. And I can always get you in touch with him. But there are many types of sponsorships, from events to, I'm trying to think, like, I personally handle the banners. So our event banners go up at all of our events. Your logo will be on it. And then we have window decals. There's a lot of different things that you can use to get your logo out. And the main thing that we want to emphasize as well with the chamber is networking. And you can do that through events like these. Our bashes are really great for networking. Lots of people go to those. And unfortunately now there have been some events that have been postponed and canceled because of COVID, but we're really looking at 2021 to start again with things like our learning lunch hour and other in-person events. We're trying to do them as safely as possible, of course, but definitely stay tuned for what we're going to be doing in 2021, because as of right now, things are definitely a little up in the air with everything going on.
Sure, absolutely. And I certainly understand that. As a matter of fact, I meant to mention that this business I have is my side hustle. Because I'm retired from federal service, but I felt as though, you know, being in the house all the time because of COVID-19, I'm not going to the gym. I work out in my house, jump rope and all that. I need to do a little bit something else that, you know, that keeps me being creative. So, you know, I'm on my computer. I think we're all on our computers on different, you know, platforms of social media, you know, to stay engaged. And that's why I do, because I want to continually stay engaged and I want to continually to promote my business. So I think on a marketing aspect, I've done a lot, an awful lot. For a person who hasn't been out there, you know, out in the street, where I previously had a business before, it didn't work out too well. I still have that business, but I did a lot of, you know, out there networking. So I'm very familiar with networking and talking to people, and I'm very comfortable with that. I don't have a problem. So I'm not fearful or anything. So I will call people up, and Eddie, I will be giving you another call sometime in the near future because of your business of, you know, Legal Shield. So.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, you know, we're going to be connecting also as well. And I do want to remind you, because you mentioned the networking aspect as well, Rudine, that's how you and I met in the first place. And I want to go back to the point that Brianna mentioned at the top of the hour, which was make sure to go back into the chat room and save the information that is in the chat, right? And Brianna, can you tell us how to do that once again? Because there's some valuable contact information there.
Yeah, so when you pull up the chat box, in the bottom right-hand corner, there will be a little button that has an ellipses. And if you click that, the top option on the drop-down will be to save the chat. And I will also be saving it as well.
Awesome. See, even I can do that, y'all. So we want to make sure we get that done also as well. Listen, this has been incredible. I told you this is always the fastest hour in the East at all times. And so what this means is now that we've got the chat saved, we've got all of this information, all of these points of contact also as well, let's use them. That's one thing as we now depart from the Zoom room here momentarily. That's the opportunity for us to continue that networking that Rudine was just talking about that we were so used to doing and of course took for granted, right? We're just used to walking into the room and seeing folks, and no one knew that that was going to be taken away. We couldn't possibly have seen that coming. So what do we do as a result? You know, oftentimes it's not a matter of what happens to us, it's how we react to what happens to us. And that, my goodness, is what we're dealing with right now. I just want to make sure that I leave each and every one of you with this, that as we're going through what we're going through, a lot of people are looking at this as, oh my goodness, the numbers are horrific, and they are, and we definitely need to be safe. But from a business standpoint, don't fall in the trap that it's another Zoom meeting, don't fall into the trap that it's about doom and gloom. This is not about doom and gloom. It's about Zoom and boom. All right. That's what we need to be taking full advantage of. And I mean that in all sincerity. If that's the technology that we have in front of us that can keep us connected while we're separated together, then by all means, this is what we need to take full advantage of. And I sincerely hope that some of us, especially those of us, not only the veterans, but some of us who's just started their business, as we said, Rudine, that was just several months ago, literally several months ago. And I was talking about 2 months or less. I knew that we have several persons here that have brand new businesses. So with all of that being said, let's make sure that we keep in contact with each other beyond the Zoom room, find out what it is that all of us have to offer to each other, one to the other, and how we can better serve our communities and stay stronger in that manner, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I hope you got a lot out of what we have here for your next customer. We're looking forward. We are going to make sure we end the year right. I want to say, is it December 15th? Brianna, is that going to be? I think that's the date for your next customer. So get that circled in your calendar right now. We're going to have another wonderful special guest. Didn't Kimberly do a wonderful job, ladies and gentlemen? How about it? What do you think? Looking forward to having you back also as well. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay prosperous, stay well. Keep praying for our troops. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you at your next customer, if not in between. Okay, God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.